Hey guys, let's start the 44th episode of Daily Football News and know what has happened in the past 24 hours. Sergio Ramos moved to PSG confirmed. Barcelona to release players. Ronaldo pushing for Juventus extension. Let's quickly find out all of these in this video. Before starting this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Let's start today's video with yesterday's fixtures and their results. Brazil beats Peru by 1-0 to go through to the final of the Copa America. Cristiano Ronaldo's agent, Jorge Mendes, is pushing to extend the Portugal star's deal with Juventus until 2023, which is set to expire in 2022. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, speculation has been rife that Ronaldo could leave for Manchester United or Paris Saint-Germain this summer due to his huge wages. Newcastle are ready to let Sweden international defender Emil Kraft depart the club, according to The Sun. Meanwhile, the scouting staff are said to have discussed 44 different signing targets at a recent meeting. Manchester United are progressing in direct contracts to sign Eduardo Camavinga. Rennes would be open to negotiate on a potential €30 million fee, as they'd lose Camavinga for free next summer. He's one of Man United long-term targets. PSG have always been interested too. Felipe Anderson is set to return to LAZIO after a failed stint at West Ham, according to TMW. The Brazilian will depart on a free transfer, but the Hammers will receive 50% of any future fee LAZIO get. Lyon head coach Peter Bosz wants to reunite with goalkeeper Andre Onana at Lyon, according to LEEWAY. The goalkeeper has had his drug ban reduced, making him a viable target. But Arsenal are also interested. Sergio Busquets has been approached by MLS clubs in the last few months. He's been tempted, but he's 100% staying at Barcelona this summer. No doubt, new approaches will arrive for Busquets from MLS clubs for summer 2022 or 2023, as revealed yesterday on Twitch. Former Chelsea man set for early exit. Arsenal are prepared to let WILLIAN go after an underwhelming first year at the Emirates Stadium. Per the Mirror, the former Chelsea man failed to impress as he made the switch from the Blues, with the Gunners missing out on European football entirely last term. Now, at 33, he could be set to make an early exit despite having 2 years left to run on his contract with the club. Goalkeeper on loan this term at Monaco. Bayern Munich have a clause in Alexander Nubel's loan contract that would allow the club to recall him if needed. Per Sport 1. The shot stopper is headed to Monaco, having struggled to break past Manuel Neuer for a starting shirt in the Bundesliga. But should the latter pick up an injury, Bayern would be able to bring the highly rated talent back immediately to fill his gloves. Junior FIRPO will complete a €13 million move to Leeds in the coming week. The Athletic claims the Barcelona player is currently in England and will soon be announced as a Leeds player. Former Italy international midfielder THIAGO MOTTA is set for a role as SPEZIA head coach, Sky Sports reports. Previously, he was PSG U19 boss. Ajax director Marc Overmars says AC Milan have no chance of signing Dusan Tadic this summer. The Rossoneri are reported to be interested in the attacker, but Overmars told The Telegraph he is not for sale this summer. We started something beautiful 3 years ago and Dusan is far too important. He is the cement between the building blocks at Ajax. Borussia Dortmund are showing interest in PSV star Nonai Madueke, but Rick Elfrink of Eindhoven's Dagblad says there has been no bid by the German side as of yet. Robin Gosens has suggested he is open to joining Barcelona after his impressive Euro 2020 performances with Germany. Barcelona are reportedly interested in signing him this summer. Gosens told Sport 1, "We'll have a look now. Already during the European Championship I told my dad that he should just leave me alone with the topic. Now I'm back home again. I'll talk to him and see if something is on the program. I'm not lying when I say that I don't know anything about it at the moment. My entire focus was on the Euros. When something happens, let's see." Samuel Umtiti has rejected Barcelona's offer to release him from his contract, according to Marca. The France international was set to be allowed to depart the club with a golden handshake this summer, but the player wants to fulfill his deal with the economically troubled outfit. Reds lineup Wijnaldum replacement. Atletico Madrid's Saul Niguez could be heading to Liverpool, according to La Razón. The midfielder would replace Georginio Wijnaldum at Anfield, with the Netherlands star having moved to PSG on a free transfer last month. Atleti already have Rodrigo de Paul lined up to replace Saul. Wolves have confirmed the arrival of Barcelona winger Francisco Trincao on a season-long loan for the 2021-2022 campaign, with a further option to buy the Blaugrana starlet next summer. The Portugal international, a member of Ronald Koeman's Copa del Rey winning squad last season, enjoyed a busy season at Camp Nou following his arrival from Braga in 2020. Now, however, he will spend the upcoming campaign at Molineux. Tottenham sporting director Fabio Paratici says that keeping Harry Kane is a goal for the club. Kane has been strongly linked with a move to Man City as he eyes the chance to win more silverware. The Brazilian believes the club still owes him money. Matheus Fernandes will sue Barcelona after his contract was terminated. says Mundo Deportivo. The Brazil youth starlet was only signed last summer but has been dismissed by the Blaugrana. Now, he intends to take them to court to collect the rest of his salary, which was due to run until 2024. French champions Lille announced on Monday the appointment of Jocelyn Gourvenec, former coach of Bordeaux and Guingamp, as their new head coach. The 49-year-old succeeds Christophe Galtier, who left the club for Nice just 2 days after securing the Ligue 1 title. Now let's move towards the major news of the day. Barca will not be allowed to bend the rules to keep stars. Barcelona will not be granted an increased salary cap by La Liga to allow them to keep Lionel Messi, according to Sport. Javier Tebas, the president of La Liga, rejected a request from the Catalan to be given some wiggle room. Barca must reduce their wages to fit their stars' deal under the league's salary rules. Barcelona have offered to release Miralem Pjanic and Samuel Umtiti from their contracts. Goal understands, as the midfielder and defender do not fit into Ronald Koeman's plans for the future. Pjanic joined from Juventus last summer in a deal worth €60 million, but started only 6 of the 13 Liga games in which he featured last season. Umtiti meanwhile has not been able to hold on to a place in the starting 11 since arriving from Lyon 5 years ago and was also limited to just 13 league matches in 2020 to 2021. Barcelona want to offload the pair this summer, but their departures will not prove so easy. Barca will sit down to negotiate with the two players with the hope of convincing them to accept a compensation package. If they refuse, however, the club will have to pay them the full salary for the rest of their contracts. The Catalan club are trying to free up space in the squad and their budget. Transfer fee remains issue. Raphael Varane has agreed personal terms with Manchester United, but the matter of his transfer fee remains a stumbling block for the Red Devils. Per the Express, hot on the heels of finally wrapping up their move for Jadon Sancho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side looks set to bring the Real Madrid defender to the club. However, Los Blancos are yet to agree to the transfer fee for the France international, which will slow down any potential move. Paul Pogba was the star of Euro 2020 before France were eliminated, says Wayne Rooney, who hopes that the midfielder can replicate his international form at Manchester United. Pogba is one of the most consistent performers for Didier Deschamps' side as they topped Group F against rivals Portugal and Germany in the tournament's early stages. A departure that came far too soon for what Rooney considered a player of the tournament contender. Paul Pogba had been the player of the tournament until they went out. The passes he played for Karim Benzema and Kylian Mbappe were incredible. It helped him to have N'Golo Kante as his midfield partner, but I think the biggest reason that Paul's performances were so good was his positioning. He was playing deeper than we normally see him for Manchester United, and this meant that he was able to pick the ball up in areas of the pitch where he had the time and room to pick a pass. England set new competition and individual records with their Euro 2020 quarter-final clean sheet against Ukraine on Saturday evening, as Gareth Southgate's side secured consecutive semi-finals at major tournaments for the first time in half a century. The Everton goalkeeper, ably protected by Manchester City pair John Stones and Kyle Walker alongside Manchester United duo Maguire and Luke Shaw, rose to the handful of testing opportunities created by Ukraine. In doing so, it ensured that England remained the only side at Euro 2020 yet to concede a goal, having kept clean sheets in all of their Group D games with Croatia, Scotland and Czech Republic, plus their last 16 defeat of Germany. That run of 5 consecutive games means that the Three Lions have set a new record in European Championship history for the most consecutive games since the start of the tournament without conceding even once. In addition, it stretches their overall individual record to 7 games without slipping up at the back, having also held clean sheets in their 2 warm-up friendlies against Austria and Romania at Middlesbrough. Sergio Ramos will undergo a medical in Paris on Tuesday ahead of joining Paris Saint-Germain as a free agent, sources have told ESPN. Sources added that the veteran defender agreed to join the Ligue 1 Giants on a 2-year deal. Ramos had wanted a 2-year deal. His wages at PSG are set to be lower than what he was earning in Spain and what he would have earned had he stayed at the Bernabeu. Ramos didn't strike an agreement with Madrid due to discrepancies over the length of the deal. Los Blancos were only willing to offer 1 year, and by the time Ramos agreed to accept the club's proposal, he was told the deadline had expired. Barcelona are considering selling Antoine Griezmann this summer to help ease their financial issues and clear the way for Lionel Messi to sign a new deal, reports Sport. Messi has agreed terms on a new 2-year contract, but Barca need to reduce their wage bill before he signs to comply with La Liga financial regulations. This was the end for our 44th episode. We will be back with more interesting news and transfer rumors tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.